Hopefulness, day 31. That's why I'm one day off, because today is the 28th of February. Here's my starter. Apparently, I'm supposed to start feeding it twice a day, but I'm not going to do that because I'm too lazy. These are some pickles that I'm working on. I just got them yesterday, and this is brownies. And brownies is what I'm about to have for breakfast right now. Because why the hell not? Let's go ahead and put this back over that. And then put this back over that. It's not the best container to be making pickles in. A more vertical container, like an old pickle jar, for instance, is even better. But it's what I've got right now. Cooked up some chicken thighs last night. And then I made these brownies. Made a couple of adjustments to the brownies. They're a little bit more on the cakey side than they are more like fudgy brownie. But it's whatever. Let's get some milk in here. So I'm going to take a shower today. I also got some bananas again, because I'm going to try to make that sour cream banana bread that I saw online. Seems like that'll be interesting. Which pieces do I want? Let's get a corner. I've already got the middle taken care of. That was one of the first pieces that I pulled out. So this is an 8x8 pan that I bought yesterday, and I've already had this press and seal plastic for a while. It's literally the first time opening it. I gotta admit, the roll of it is very, very, very satisfying to touch. Like, there's a texture about it that is just, I don't even know how to describe it. Where did I put it over here? Let's put it back up. But like, it's soft, it's pliable. It has an actual like textured pattern on it that's really tiny, increasing the surface area, of course. But like the soft squishiness of it is just like it. It kind of reminds me, It's not exact because I can't think of exactly what it is, but it reminds me of like having, a stuffed animal, basically. So yeah, thick ass brownies. A little bit on the, like I said, they're more of a cakey brownie. I did make some adjustments. Instead of using pure vegetable oil, I used a stick of butter, because like the whole thing called for like a cup of oil, which is a lot of oil. So I used a half a cup, or no, it asked for a half a cup of oil, right? Yeah. Okay, so it called for a half a cup of oil. So I used one stick of butter, which is a quarter of a cup of fat, and then I used a quarter cup of the coconut oil. So good though. Not super flavorful. Probably should have thrown in some vanilla extract now I think about it. But I just wanted something that was relatively easy, since I already had some eggs and oil. Oh, instead of water, I used milk. Yeah, I've got so I don't have any more sauce. I have like a little bit of sauce left over from the previous incarnation, but so now I'm gonna make some more sauce, which is good because like I said before, I need to have some sauce on hand. It's kind of a thing that I do. Bought some rice vinegar. part of the pickling process. And what I'm going to try to do is just keep that pickling solution as it is, and then just kind of replenish with more of the Persian cucumbers, because they're smaller, and so they end up being more like the kind of pickles that I like. So if you ever want to make your own pickles, use the smaller Persian cucumbers instead of the big ass ones. Unless you want to make your own like novelty version of a pickle. You know, like the ones that are like just fucking fat and massive and come in those big ass jars and shit. Ooh, just cracked my jaw. That felt good. I haven't taken my meds today. Oh yeah. Yesterday. There you go. Here it is. So not only did I get my meds, but I got eight free COVID tests, at-home COVID tests. And they were like 8 per month, and I'm like, 8 per month? Holy crap. That's ridiculous. It's a good thing, but it's ridiculous. And it's like, and it's ridiculous. Hold on, put my knife. There it is. Maybe not the best question to ask when you're in your house. Where did I put my knife? But, okay, what all do we have? Oh, this is like a legit ass test. It's got the swab. It's got the little sample container with a bit of probably saline that's inside that to help maintain it. Let's see. Instructions looks like. Yep. Instruction video. It's got a QR code so I could scan it with the phone. And all else do that. Yeah. What is this? Antigen home test. I'm guessing this is whatever else. Preparation. Certificate of quality. There's all kinds of shit in here. This is a horrible unboxing, I know. Oh wow, looks like it's Acon Biotech. Hangzhou? Well, the interesting thing is it looks like it's like the first. That's San Diego, but like the actual seal that's stamped on there. It sounds like it's a Chinese city. Oh, this one is in different languages, looks like. It's Spanish. So an instruction booklet. It's crazy. I was talking very briefly about this with the pharmacist. I was like, could have used this 2 years ago. But, you know, supply chain issues and other things. I don't want to get too political. I wanted to. But, you know, time and place. So that is that. Plus, you know, now that I've pretty much, I'm sure, had COVID, it's kind of pointless now. I mean, I don't even know if I'm going to be going up there every month, unless, hold on, it seems pretty full, so I don't know, we'll see. I'll be talking to my psychiatrist and my psychologist in the coming days. I have to look at my schedule. I don't know exactly when those days are. But it's gonna be closer to the middle of the month. It should be around the time that I want to get the car again. Oh yeah, and speaking of, just got an email today. It rains, of course. So I got an email today from Public Storage that the rates are going to increase to $150 a month from $137 a month. Oh man! And the crazy thing is like back when I was living on the streets, that happened quite it was, I would say, either every 4 or 6 months, the rates would always increase by some amount like that. And the frustrating thing about it, obviously, was that I was poor. I didn't have any money. The money that I did get was only $220 a month from the General Relief Fund. And then obviously as it continued to increase, it was like, okay, what the fuck do I do? And so I'd start doing plasma donations. So I ended up doing that for a year because I was like, I needed more money. And that sucked. Because like sometimes I would go out there and then I couldn't even donate because my triglyceride levels were too high. And I didn't have a better understanding. I have as good an understanding now, or then, as I did now. Like this would be the reason that I would have a high triglyceride level, especially, if I have this early in the day and then I go to do it later in the day. It's mostly carbs. Whereas I thought it was like eating fat, but eating dietary fat doesn't inherently increase the fat in your blood. It's a complex process that I've forgotten for the most part. But I'm gonna pull like 2,000 out of Fidelity, and I just checked and I have approximately 6,000. Stock markets haven't been too great, and since the last time I pulled money out, my total went from 6,200 to about 6,000. So now, so here's the thing too. It's like when you have fewer stocks, the fluctuations don't affect you nearly as much, or at least they aren't as drastic. If, let's say, for every dollar you have, you get a penny back on one day, and then you lose a penny on another day. All right? So you're still even, effectively, for all intents and purposes. Now, this is throughout an overarching, let's say an entire year on the regular. They fluctuate enough to where it only drops by a penny or it only raises by a penny, and by the end of the year, it's even. If you only have $1, you only have $1.01. That's it. Or you have 99 cents, or you have $1. You only have those three numbers. Now, of course, if it drops is significant enough, again, it still ended up, change, some days the penny might go down, it might go down another penny or two or three or five. Okay. But, and let's just say for the sake of this thought experiment, it never goes below or above 50% of the dollar. So the stocks, even if they drop really, really significantly, and they drop down to 50 cents, and at one point it goes all the way up to $1.50. That's fucking nothing when all you have is $1, right? Now, when it's $100, it's that change. Because remember, you don't have $100, you have $101. And each of those individuals are all going to be affected at the exact same time by the exact same amount. So one day you have $100, the next day you have $99, you have $90, $99. You already have less money than the dude who has than the $1. Well, the same percentage and everything, but you've effectively lost more than what the person at the bottom has. But you still have fucking $99. You have 100 times as much as they do. So extrapolate that then to $100 million, okay? Because you have 100 million stocks. On one day, when it drops 1 penny, you can lose $1 million. You still have 99 fucking million dollars. But when it scales up like that, it becomes significant. Which is why you want to buy cheap and sell high, kind of thing. Because when you buy cheap and you sell later, you make the money. And if you buy enough when it's cheap, and then you sell enough when it's higher, you can make huge gains. This is why they do what they do. And it is gambling. It is straight up fucking gambling. It's legal, but it's still gambling because there is risk involved. And that is where gambling comes into play, is when there is risk. So when I see it change by $100, it feels like a lot. Because holy fuck, $100 is a lot for me. $100, I mean, that's how much money I spent on all of the stuff that I bought when I went to the store that one time with the car for food and shit. Now, part of it was, a bottle of Malibu, which is like $16, maybe $20 tops. So that's a huge chunk of that. That's roughly, let's say, 1/6 of what I spent, which is pretty big. But I bought a lot of other shit that's been sticking around for a while. So, and some of these things, seasonings and shit like that, those things cost money. But then there's stuff that, I haven't even completely used up because I bought a backlog of them. I still have some of my original flour. I'm sitting here, this right here was like $6. But I've barely used anything. The most I've used was yesterday when I used 1/4 of a cup. This container contains nearly 2 pints, a quart. So anyway, the hell was I even trying to talk about? Oh, I have to pull money out. I have a little bit of money. I have enough to pay for rent and then storage. And then I'm going to have to pull money out tomorrow. And then at some point during this month, I'm going to have to do my taxes. Hopefully I won't have to pay anything, but I might. It's going to suck if I do. I don't think I had to pay last time. I think I made more money. But with the whole like finality and having to pull some money out or after the last couple of months, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. What else? Oh yeah, today's Monday, so I gotta do laundry. So I gotta take a shower first, then I gotta do laundry. Oh yeah, the thing about yesterday. It took me almost exactly 2 hours to leave my door and get back to my door, and I went 2 places, both of which, by the way, are within 2.5 miles. And I mean, they're basically on the way. Like, one of them is closer, and it's on the way. So first I walked up to the train station. I put $10 on my Metro card because apparently they're starting to fucking charge again now. Which sucks. Now, if I get on a train or if I get on one of the bigger buses that have doors in the back, for all intents and purposes, I don't have to tap. And I think we have a transfer system wherein if you tap within a specific amount of time, I want to say it's 2 hours. That's free transfers. I could be wrong. Nevertheless, I only tapped once. No, I tapped twice. That's right. I tapped once getting on the train. I didn't tap getting on the second bus because that was the bigger bus. I did tap getting on the smaller bus because then they'll only open the front door now. And they expect you to get on there, tap. But that didn't charge me. That was when I was leaving the Rite Aid after getting all the free shit. And then when I was heading to Food for Less and then leaving Food for Less with one of the bigger buses again. So I didn't have to worry about tapping. Even though they have the taps in the back, they didn't even seem like they were activated. So yeah. Cost me $1.75 to go to 2 places in 2 hours. And that was less than, I mean, if I had drove there, probably would have taken me maybe 20 minutes tops. Gas wouldn't have been too much. But anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna take one of those. And I'm still gonna do what I was doing yesterday after I got back, which was I would do what is called camping, a spot where you basically just kind of sit in one place, and trying to get this weapon. Now I found out yesterday because I had suspicions, but so in the same area, there's multiple camps, right? And they're all really close to each other. You can even see them from each other. And if you get too close and let's say sit down, the other NPCs will then try to attack you, and they'll run around and they'll swarm you, and that can be problematic. But if you do it right, you're not close enough for them to what they call aggro on you, become aggressive, and so you can play it smart and not have to worry about that. Well, there's another NPC, aka mob, mobile objective, I believe is what that means, that also drops a weapon that has a similar spell that can be cast on swing. And so I'm also going to take on that dude too, and what is known as his placeholder, the other. Because if you don't kill the mob that's in that spot, the one that you want to kill may not show up, or it won't show up at all. It'll just sit there and nothing will spawn. So you have to continually, clear this cycle, and it's like a 22, 24 minute cycle. So it can take a while. So in the process of doing my laundry, that's what I'm gonna do. And now I gotta go take a shit. So have fun.